Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Formula. This is Super Bowl weekend, our
Super
final
Bowl.
betting show of the year. It all comes down to this: the Super Bowl. We get to
Big
place as
game.
many prop bets, Gatorade color, national anthem, coin toss. I still find it crazy the coin toss is the most bet thing in the game. That's just wild to me.
Is
I
that
think
right?
I'm pretty sure the coin toss is like the most bet prop in the whole Super Bowl, which is just stupid. Like, why are you betting the coin toss?
You know what's even more dumb
You're-
is like the last 7 coin toss winners have lost the Super Bowl. It's like 7 in a row.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. I saw that.
It's crazy.
Um,
I
but
mean,
yeah, we're here.
speaking of
This
hit real quick before history, I think the biggest thing is PB going to go back to back in a Millie Maker win.
we'll get to that on
How
the
you
DFS
feeling
show.
about it? You got a shot at revenge here. Go back to
We'll
back.
we'll talk about that on the DFS show. But I am gonna try to go back to back for the Millie Maker. Got it on FanDuel last year. Hopefully, I could get it on one or the other and not split it as many ways as I had to last year. I'm lagging.
A little bit. It's all right.
Okay.
We'll let your
Okay.
connection catch back up here. I got a couple
Yeah.
of fun facts at the top,
Okay.
like we did last week. Just some little tidbits to keep in mind. Super Bowl wise, favorites are 36-20 straight up and 27-2 ATS. The under has cashed in 4 straight Super Bowls, but hasn't gone under in 5 straight since the late 1970s. Carl Sheffers, the lead official, is 11-1 to the under in his 12 playoff games. 18 of the last 21 Super Bowl winners have worn white. Kansas City happens to be wearing white. And just because we had the GOAT retire since our last episode, Tom Brady has started in 17.5% of all Super Bowls and won 12.3% of every Super Bowl ever. There's a million other crazy stats out there, but I figured for the Super Bowl show, might as well.
Shout out to the GOAT. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be shouting out a new GOAT here soon. We'll get to that in a little bit, but today we'll go over our favorite pick, whether it's the spread or the over-under, and then Super Bowl is all about the prop bets. That's just all these sports books have just countless random things that you can just bet on. Like you can get ones that are like points scored in NBA for a player to like the score of like it's crazy. It's all over the place. You can find so many props. So we found some of our favorites, and we're going to share those today. Our 5 favorite picks. Who wants to start off a Super Bowl show with their pick? We'll start out doing the actual game before we do the props.
I'll take it. I'm just going to go with the conspiracy theory here. Now that we know the NFL's rigged, Patrick Mahomes is not going to lose in State Farm Stadium. So threw a hundo spot on the Chiefs and never looking back.
State Farm paying.
That's your reason. That's the only reasoning.
Well, yeah, now that we know it's all scripted, like we know who's paying for it. It's all State Farm.
Okay, please stop. God.
I'm just kidding, but I am going with the Chiefs.
Well, since you have the script, Nick, tell us what happens in the game.
I got to keep that a secret because I don't want the lines to move too much on me. So,
Okay. Well, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. I'm taking Chiefs money line. Getting plus money on Mahomes is never a bad thing. He is 72-19 straight up in his career. That's 80%. And as an underdog, straight up is 7-1-1 ATS. So like those numbers, like where the Chiefs are at, getting a couple of weeks here to get healthier. I think they're pretty much, when you look at the teams on paper, I think aside from quarterback, tight end, and maybe head coach, they're pretty much outmatched in every facet of this game. But I bet against Mahomes last week. I just can't do it back-to-back weeks. I can't do it.
Everyone forgets that Mahomes has had the best year of his career, debatably with the worst receiving core. So I think he caps it off with a win here. I just like the momentum, and I think Andy Reid is just more experienced in this spot. I love Nick Sirianni as a coach. I think he's done great. Second year to get to the Super Bowl is amazing. The Eagles have been really tough to stop all year, but I don't know. The Chiefs are just so good. Like they just can't be stopped. So I'm really excited, but
Yeah.
got to go.
Well, I'll
with the Chiefs.
cap it off here before we hand it over to Corey, who might have a different pick, but this is my lock of the Super Bowl, Chiefs money line. Patrick Mahomes should not be a favorite against a first-time Jalen Hurts quarterback playing the Super Bowl. Well, Mahomes has had experience. You know, this Eagles team is not as good as people think. They've had the easiest schedule in the entire league. And you look at who the teams that the good teams that they played, you know, teams with a better offensive line, like the Lions, Packers, Cowboys, all those teams put up like an average of 35 points on this Eagles defense. You know, the best quarterbacks that the Eagles have faced are Trevor Lawrence, Rodgers, who's had one of his worst seasons, and I'm trying to think who they have not played anybody. Can anyone tell me another good quarterback that they faced?
There's not
Cousins?
Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was the other quarterback that put up 40, but like a lot of people wouldn't even consider Dak
good?
a quarterback. So who have they
Dak's not
faced?
good.
They have not played.
I'm not going to argue with
anybody.
you on that.
And then you have the Chiefs, who have had one of the toughest schedules. You know, they've had to play. I think they play the Jaguars twice. You know, Herbert twice. You know, Russ. That was whatever. But they've had a tougher schedule, and you know, there's no defense that can give Mahomes a problem. Like I was shocked. Like I thought the Bengals were going to get it done with that high ankle, and Mahomes just like, I mean, it was incredible what he was able to do. And now he's going to be close to 100% against the Eagles. Juju and Tony look like they're going to play. So McCole Hardman's probably the only guy out. And yeah, I think the Chiefs like roll. Like I see this being like a high scoring close game where the Chiefs win, or like an actual Chiefs blowout of the Eagles. That's how I see this game going. Corey, go ahead and defend the Eagles.
You're funny.
You couldn't even, when I asked a question about who they have faced, you couldn't even answer.
I mean, it
Look
doesn't
at 'em over
matter.
there taking
They're
receipts.
still in the NFL. It's still the NFL. It's
Okay.
the best of the best. Like you can say a team is this and
They
that.
played the
It's-
worst of the best all year.
Okay, that's totally fine. My lock of the week is going to be, obviously, I am taking the Eagles here, money line. They've been the best team all year. Arguably, they have the best defense in the NFL, best secondary, best defensive line. Their linebacking core is the only weak spot on that defense. And you flip over to the offensive side of the ball. By far the best O-line in the NFL. Their schemes that they can run are absurd. They can run with Hurts. They can pass with Hurts. They can run with their running back. I mean, everyone thought that the running backs wouldn't be able to run the ball at all last week. And
I didn't think that. I think I
and-
could get 50 yards in the backfield for the Eagles. Right behind Jordan Mailata. That guy is a mountain.
it's every week. It's every week.
It only made sense
Every
that he
week.
would do it in this one too.
I
It
waited.
only
I
made
did.
sense.
I knew. I waited.
Corey,
But-
you put a good pause in there though, so we can just trim Nick out
Yeah.
really quick.
So
But
their weapons on the outside against the secondary of the Chiefs. Yeah, they've been playing well, but they're full of rookies back there. I honestly think Jalen Hurts has a really good game. He probably wins MVP off probably 4 total touchdowns in this game, and I think it's just gonna be hard for the Chiefs. I'm not saying I've been on the Chiefs all year. I have been, but Eagles were my pick going into this into the playoffs. They were my Super Bowl team out of the NFC, and I think they capped it off with a win.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, you can say that they have a good defense. They've faced some of the worst offensive lines. Like look at their schedule. It is so
Look
bad.
at what they just did to the 49ers.
The 49ers played
Offensive
with
line.
their
Offensive line.
They have a good run blocking offensive line, and Christian McCaffrey had a great game. That's all. The 49ers don't have some. They have a good offensive line. The Chiefs have a better offensive line than the 49ers, and so do the Eagles. And they were playing with Josh Johnson. You can and then Brock Purdy came back with like a torn whatever labrum.
Oh,
I think the
Like-
best part of that game was Taron Armstead's suplex on that guy.
dude, the Eagles, like, they're gonna finally have to play a team. Like they're going from playing what Aaron Rodgers and Trevor Lawrence and Dak as the best quarterbacks they've faced to Patrick Mahomes. It's a whole different ball game. Like,
why weren't you on Patrick Mahomes last week?
I literally thought his high ankle was. I was. That's why I'm shocked. Like, he played out of his mind with that high ankle.
He did,
Like,
but he also had they had offensive weapons. Now they're hurt. I understand they're
but
playing.
they have all of them except Hardman.
No, Juju got hurt halfway through that game.
Yeah, but they'll
Go,
be
Tony.
back though. They'll be back though.
No, I'm saying I know they're going to be back, but they're hurt and banged up. And the Eagles on their
They're bang-
side are extremely healthy. They're the healthiest you can be right now. That's what you want to go into. the
Chris
Super Bowl.
Jones is still the best defensive player on when you take just best defensive player on the field is still Chris Jones as well. The Chiefs have a better pass rush than the Eagles. Like, I don't know.
You just say the Chiefs
I
have a
think-
better pass rush than the Eagles.
Yes.
How many
Chris
sacks
Jones,
did the
ever heard
Eagles-
of him?
How many sacks did the Eagles have this year compared to the
They
Chiefs?
have a bunch of sacks, but I'm talking about from pure like
Pressure.
You have to look at you. I don't know why people don't take in strength
Okay.
of schedule. The Eagles played nobody. They were going against bum offensive lines all year. The Chiefs
That makes
did
zero
not.
sense.
What?
You can't be thrown around the strength of schedule like it's like the be all end all. Like it's not. It's
Usually
still
it's
have to-
not, but when it's to this degree, like this is like they've had a cakewalk to the Super Bowl, and they're going to be shell shocked when they have to face
have the
this
Chiefs
Chiefs
have the,
team.
this is a question for have the Chiefs faced a very mobile quarterback this year?
I would have to look at their schedule.
Like I'm being dead serious. Like have they faced like a quarterback that can run like Jalen Hurts?
Both of these teams are bad against mobile quarterbacks.
Okay, well,
looked
I'm
that
not.
up.
Mahomes is not a mobile quarterback right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he, but we had to talk about the game a little more in detail because it is the Super Bowl, and it sounds like three of us are on the Chiefs. And Corey,
Hey,
I think your little 2-week hot streak's coming to an end here.
one of us is going to be right at least.
That's
So
true.
we got that going for the pod.
We will get one win.
Yeah, at least one.
We'll
least
get three
one.
wins. 3 wins.
Should
All
we
right,
talk
well, we'll
props,
get-
the fun stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk props now. Who wants to give their first prop?
I'll go. This is my favorite prop. Is Kenneth Gainwell over 18.5 rushing yards. Set at even money right now. He had 112 yards on 12 carries against the Giants, 48 yards on 14 carries against the 49ers. If you average that out, he's getting 13 carries a game in the playoffs. So you're essentially banking on him averaging more than 1.5 yards per carry.
Do you
Big
think
Kenny
some
G
of
guy
that?
over here.
Do you think some of that has to do with garbage time?
Definitely. Yeah. But I think that they've been giving him the ball enough that he's still going to see looks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think they're a true committee backfield at this point. I mean, Miles Sanders obviously main guy, but they're mixing everyone in there.
Okay. Who else? Who wants to go next?
I can go with mine. My first one. It's been kind to me the entire playoffs. I'm taking Eagles over 13 points in the first half at -110. Granted, I will say they haven't scored on a first drive in a long time. But they are good at scoring in the first half. So I'm taking the Eagles, like I said, over 13 first half total points, -110. And for the Chiefs side, I'm pretty sure it's at 12.5. Same even money.
Two touchdowns and a half is definitely not out of question
No.
for either side.
Okay, Nick.
I'm gonna take one with high odds. This one is plus 700, and it's a field goal in each quarter to be scored. I like that one. I put a decent amount on it. Think it could hit. It's an easy one. I like it.
The only thing that scares me about that is both these teams go for it on fourth quite a bit. And like
Yeah,
in the
but-
Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I think they're gonna just secure some points. Is my thing.
I don't know.
You have the Eagles were like the Chiefs actually weren't as aggressive as people might have thought on fourth down. They had like the third least, but the Eagles, we'll get it. That's one of my props in a little bit. But yeah,
They go for it a ton.
the Eagles are very aggressive on fourth down.
Yeah. Well, and you know, Andy Reid is
In the Super Bowl, he's way more aggressive. Andy Reid.
he's going to put on Mahomes' back, I think. But never know. And that's why it's a long shot, right? That's why it's plus 700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have two props. I mean, banking on some field goals here. So this one is plus 1,700, and it's each team to score a touchdown and a field goal in each half. So I'm kind of playing the same side with some correlation there to my prop bets.
Yep.
High scoring game, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that much. 10 points a half. I mean, they could do it.
10 points a quarter. I thought you said a quarter.
No, it's a half.
Oh, touchdown and
the
a
field goal
was-
only. Yeah. The field goal only one's a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't
Okay.
matter which team on that one, but each half they get a
so-
touchdown and a field goal.
My first prop is Jalen Hurts over half interceptions, and you get that at plus money, plus 125. Right now, Mahomes is more of a favorite to throw an interception than Hurts, which, I mean, I personally don't think they're like these quarterbacks are even close. Like, I think Mahomes is a far superior quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I know Mahomes has thrown a few interceptions in the both Super Bowls he's been in, which is probably why they have the line like that. And Hurts has had a better season, but I mean, you look to last year. I mean, he threw 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. This year, better, 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. But in the Super Bowl, his first time, I think early on you'll see this interception. So I think you're going to see Hurts have to throw the ball a lot more than he has all year. They've played with the lead almost every game. I think besides like 3 games, they've played with the lead, and they've had like complete blowouts by halftime in a lot of them. I think he's going to be forced to pass maybe close to 40 times. More pass attempts, more opportunities for interceptions. I love getting plus money on his over half interceptions. All right.
I like that. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Playing off.
I think we can
Jalen
see a
Hurts
Hurts meltdown, by the way. Like, I really do think this could be like, we've seen it.
What?
Remember last year? Remember Hurts just like,
Oh my
had a-
God, he was a rookie.
As
Chill
a-
out.
No. But I'm saying, he was a rookie, but I'm saying, I think we could see where it's like the Super Bowl.
And then no one to throw the ball to last year.
Hey, he's done well in some national championship games on the biggest stages when people counted him out. I don't think he's someone to crack under pressure.
Yeah.
So I think you
We'll
got to give
see.
him that.
We'll see.
I'll jump on another Hurts prop here. I'm taking his under rushing yards, which is set at 49.5 right now.
Geez, that's so high.
Super high. He averaged 38 rushing yards a game during the season, and that's with the first 2 games of the season going over 100 yards. So like if you take that out, that number goes down a decent amount. He also scrambles less when he's under pressure and against the blitz, and Kansas City blitzes in the top half and gets pressure at a top 5 rate in the league. He was also playing with Goddard, who had been injured for a little bit there, which I think creates more of a safety valve for him on those run plays that he might have, broken out of the pocket and picked up 5 or 6 yards. He's going to dump those off, I think, a little bit more with Goddard there. And then lastly, the Chiefs are a very zone heavy team, which leads to less kind of those breakout super long run opportunities that you've seen Hurts throughout the course of the year get very consistently. But yeah, I like the under 49.5 line here.
I like that one a lot. I'm gonna have to actually bet that.
I think I'm going to play that one. I'll throw another Eagles one in. I got AJ Brown to have 25 receiving yards in each half. That one's plus 130. That could be one catch a half. I think that's pretty probable.
Yeah, I'm on that same bet as well.
Nice. All right.
I actually don't mind that. I think he has the best matchup of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
of the Eagles receivers.
Yeah, and I think historically throughout the year, the Chiefs have been one of the worst teams to wide receiver number ones.
Correct.
So playing that stat.
And that rookie secondary. Gotta watch for AJ Brown. He's a monster out there.
Yeah,
That is a big boy out wide.
I'm curious, what's his MVP odds? I don't know.
It's
Go ahead,
got to be
sorry.
pretty. I would guess it's like in the plus 1,500 to 2,000 range.
I mean, that'd be worth a sprinky, I think.
Because
it might be
Kelsey's
more
like
than that.
plus 1,300, or Kelsey's like in that range.
I'm gonna find that really quick.
You need like 3 touchdowns out of him for him to get that though.
Yeah,
'Cause
no, you
the
definitely
problem is
will.
like Hurts is throwing it to him.
He's
Like,
plus 1,800.
yeah, so Hurts is throwing him those 3, and then if you're banking on a high scoring game, like Hurts might have 1 or 2 more with his legs, one
Yeah,
more
no.
passing, where that he would probably get the nod. Like AJ would have to be pretty much the only guy getting touchdowns to hit that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it's probably gonna go to one of the quarterbacks, but like we already touched. The only reason I bring this up because I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
But you saying Chris Jones, the best defensive player, he's plus 5,000 to win the MVP odds.
Yeah.
And occasionally the defense players do get it. I think
Chris
you'd
Jones
actually
would be
get it
the
less.
defensive guy I would bet if I did bet a defensive player.
Yeah, I think QBs only win Super Bowl MVP like 60% of the time
Yeah,
or something.
It's a lot lower than you'd expect.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
and it usually goes to defense if it's not the quarterback.
right.
It's like,
For that
the
same
Aaron
reason.
Donalds or,
Yeah.
someone that gets a couple
they make
sacks.
that big play for a touchdown or
Yeah.
something, and then that can win you MVP.
Like you
Pick six.
need it to be a low scoring game, like a 21-17
yeah,
game for that to happen.
Yeah.
That's why recently, because the NFL's changed. That's why quarterbacks have won it more recently. They've won it more frequently recently because we've seen way more high scoring games, not that like grinded out type style in past years. But
For me, I think. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
No, you can go.
I was going to say, I think if the Chiefs win, there's no way Mahomes doesn't get it, like regardless of how the game goes. So I think if you're playing like the other side, I think you got to pick an Eagles edge rusher. So maybe like Hassan Reddick, who's pretty good. He's got some real good odds there. So
I think
That's
Josh
like
Sweat
3,000 or something.
Josh Sweat too, yeah. Like
Any
one
of
of those guys who
Eagles
can-
D linemen, I think, are plus 2,500, plus 3,000 or longer too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Hassan
all
Reddick
fine
is
now.
3,400, and then I don't even see where's Josh Sweat is plus 15,000.
Yeah, I think he has the best defensive matchup against that. It's the Chiefs like right guard or whatever.
Yeah,
Right
which
tackle.
which then leads me into my next prop pick. Josh Sweat, first sack of the game at plus 1,000. Like we just said, PB just mentioned, he has the best matchup on that defensive line against the Chiefs. So in looking at this, Chris Jones, I think, was plus 250 or 300 on the other side, and then it was Hassan Reddick at plus 600, and then Josh Sweat is the third longest favorite. So plus 1,000 for a defensive line that has been getting to the quarterback this entire year with the most sacks. Definitely worth a little sprinky.
Chris Jones, I saw like, I forget what percent it was. A majority of his sacks came in the fourth quarter, though. So I like that bet for the first sack of the game.
Yeah,
Nice.
25 win 250 right there.
That's
Scratch.
great odds. And that's like, that could be a very quick hit. Like that could turn around
Mhm.
every other bet if you hit it for the rest of the game. Like, wouldn't matter the outcome probably.
You're right.
Corey, that's paying for your mother clucker, the appetizer spread you're going for. Just so everyone on the podcast is aware, Corey's going for 10 pounds of fried chicken bucket. It's called the Mother Clucker. It's
Definitely
from
not doing that.
MVP and Siesta Key. It's a custom order for the Super Bowl for him. Shout out to MVP.
No free shout outs.
But yeah, Corey's doing a live stream. He's going to try and take down 10 pounds of chicken across the Super Bowl. Honestly,
Corey,
might
I'm
be
excited
more
to see
entertaining
that.
than the
Man,
Puppy
this
Bowl.
news to me, man.
I'm excited to see this.
Second
Corey.
half,
Yeah.
I'll be it'll be a live stream from the toilet, so I'll be sure to share that with you guys too.
Just eating a bunch of Never mind. I was gonna make a joke.
All right,
Yeah,
on
please
to
don't.
my
Yeah,
next
on
prop
to-
bet.
it was gonna be a little too much.
Uh,
All right.
my next prop. Oh, go ahead.
I have
Go
my
ahead.
pick.
Do it.
We have this is one of my favorites. Well, they're all my favorites, but longest fourth down conversion over 2.5 yards.
I like it.
2.5 yards. This season, the Chiefs and Eagles had an average of like a 75% success rate converting fourth downs. And even though the Eagles, obviously, they've, like I mentioned, I kind of discussed, they've had played with the lead most of their games, besides like 3 games, some of them massive leads, and they're still going for it on fourth down. They're highly aggressive. It was the fourth highest. They had 32 attempts, and I expect the Eagles to be playing from behind this game. So I think they're going to be even more aggressive. Now the Chiefs, on the other hand, had the third least attempts. They only had 12 fourth down conversion attempts. But in the last 2 Super Bowls Mahomes has been in, they've had 3 attempts in each of those games. I just like and Andy Reid in the Super Bowl, like both these teams, I expect probably between like around 6 fourth down attempts, and I think one of them is going to go for more than 2.5 yards. Or
What are the
one of
odds
them is
on
going to
that?
be converted for farther than 4th and 2.
It's even money. It's just like it's a set.
Yeah, it's even
Bet
money.
line.
It's minus. It's an even money bet on DraftKings.
I like that. Yeah, both these teams are going to be aggressive. I would bet whatever the under is on amount of punts in the game, which I think obviously translates well to that bet as well.
You don't want to see a lot of Tommy Townsend. I think he was like the MVP punter of the year.
Hey, he's a
Yeah,
stud for
he's a-
sure.
he is a
Sure.
stud punter.
He's a weapon, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, they are any chance that they get anything close to
Yeah.
that 50-yard line, they're probably going for it on both sides. Speaking of,
we this would have converted, by the way, in the first 4 minutes of last game. It was 4th and 3 on like the 35-yard line when they complete with that Devonta Smith catch that ended up not being a catch, but it still counted. They went for it, and it would have cashed in the first 4 minutes of the game.
speaking of sportsbooks specials, FanDuel has a game special going right now for Mahomes to have 1+ passing touchdown in each half, set at even money. I'm expecting a good amount of points from this game. Obviously means Mahomes is going to throw the ball 40+ times. That line is set at 39.5 attempts right now. When you're getting those types of numbers with Patty, you're gonna see some points. And I see the Chiefs leaning on Mahomes significantly more than leaning on the run game in this. So I think there's just going to be so many opportunities for him to hit that. Even money, I will definitely be throwing some on there.
Interesting. See, I actually think they're going to run Pacheco quite a bit. We saw his usage was up last week over McKinnon. And my final prop bet of the week is actually Pacheco to have the most rush yards in the game at plus 340. Just knowing the Philly backfield is kind of split, I think Pacheco is in a good position to face one of the weaker run defenses in the league, and I think that's how you attack the Eagles to start the game. So I'm expecting a lot out of Pacheco, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow, but definitely have a few captain lines with him in there.
You think? Well, I just first want to clarify. You think the Eagles have a weak run defense, not just like
I think that's the
average?
weakest part of their
Relative.
defense.
Yeah,
okay,
relative
that's
to the rest of the
different.
squad.
I thought you were just weakest in the league. I was like,
No.
Definitely not the weakest. No. I think that's probably the soft spot of the D, though.
okay. Corey.
Yeah. So my last little prop pick here. Again on the defensive
Oh wait,
side.
I still have 2 more. Maybe I should go. How
Okay,
many do
you
you
go.
have, Alex?
I got one left.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you go,
So,
PB.
all right, my next one is yards of Mahomes' first touchdown pass under 10.5 yards. So only 14 of Mahomes' 45 touchdowns this year, which is like 30%, have gone over 10.5 yards, and you're getting even money. Well, minus 115, close to even money on this bet. You know, you don't have guys like Tyreek Hill anymore. Like they don't. The Chiefs just methodically get down there, and then they score like fairly close, to the goal line most of the time. And you have guys like Pacheco and McKinnon and Tony, even like I think he'll be active. Like he might get some runs. Hardman won't be active, but Hardman was kind of the guy catching those long ones early in the year, and he's not even going to be out there. So I love this one. Like I said, it's only hit 30% of the time all year, and you're getting even money on it. The only guy that I'm worried about for this prop is Justin Watson. Like just
9 MVS.
MVS, yeah, or the MVS and Watson are the only guys
yeah.
that. But again, this is also the stronger. Like I think Mahomes can pick on the secondary, but it is the stronger part of their defense over the run, and so I just don't think you're going to see a lot of like these big chunk plays, especially for like a touchdown. So I think the Eagles will at least prevent that. So yeah, I love the first touchdown pass under 10.5 yards.
Don't mind that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
What
now
you
you
got,
guys
Corey?
can go. Corey,
Yeah. So like I was saying, sticking to the defensive, I like the defensive side of props. And it's kind of based off of where I think the game is going to be going, a high scoring game. I like taking tackles, over under on tackles, just because I think like I said, it's going to be an up and down game, and there's going to be opportunities for the defense to be out there quite a bit. So I'm taking Darius Slay over 3.5 tackles. He's the cornerback for the Eagles, if no one knows that. Alex just kind of mentioned that Mahomes' prop is set at 39.5 passing yards. So you got attempts, not passing yards. So you got to think that, he's going to be targeted. And if he gets targeted and the guy catches the ball, all he has to do is bring him down. So I think it's minus 130. So it's a little juice to the over, but I think it's a good bet. And definitely, I've been pretty good with the defensive bets the last couple of years. So stick with that trend and take that one.
Eagles do a lot of press zone too, so he plays close to the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Big Play Slay. If you don't know,
it's only 3.5.
Kind of controls that whole like left side of the field.
Yeah, he's like a flank corner.
I mean, I know he doesn't average like 10 tackles a game, but like if he's getting thrown at, yeah,
he's definitely the superstar of that defense. So expect him to have a good day.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'm on the offensive side of the ball on this last pick. So you can do now on FanDuel first touchdown scorer combos. So you basically get one player from each side. And I'm going with Travis Kelce or Miles Sanders to score the first touchdown at plus 330. I think my pick, obviously, I think the Chiefs win, and I think that starts with getting Kelce going early and often. And you saw what the Eagles did on the other side of the ball against the 49ers on that first drive. Sanders runs it in against the best run defense in the league. The only piece of this that I'm sweating a little bit, or going to be sweating, and it's another option if you like it better, is Kelce Hurts. That QB sneak, if they get the ball down to like the 1 or the 2 even, and just run 2 of them back to back, that's the one piece that scares me a little bit about that. But at plus 330, I could very well see either Kelce or Sanders getting in there.
Yeah, that would scare me.
You can bet.
Are you talking about Jason Kelce?
Yeah. You can bet. If you like the Kelce side of it, you can. I mean, they have combos for everyone, and I actually think Kelce Sanders is either the shortest or second shortest odds. So like even Kelce Hurts, I think, is like plus 360 if you like that better.
I wish that's a good one. I wish the sports book had put something out there like, will Philly run the Philly special?
They think they might have that.
I was going to say, you might be able to find that somewhere. It might not be on like FanDuel or DraftKings, but
like
it's got to be
Caesar.
That seems like a Barstool bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might be on there. My last one, long shot bet, is Jody Fortson anytime touchdown at plus 1,300. I think Juju and Tony are going to play, but like we talked about, they are still slightly banged up. I think in the last 2 weeks, you're going to see Andy Reid scheme up some of these double tight end things. When they get down to the red zone, the Eagles are going to try to double team. I mean, try is the key word. They're going to double team Kelsey as much as they can, if not triple team him. Like, that's Mahomes' guy. But I think you'll see some packages like Jody Fortson is a big dude, and his catch rate compared to how many touchdowns he scores is pretty off the charts. And so I think he gets targeted down there at least once, and if not multiple times. And I think he brings one in for a touchdown here. Plus
Jody High Roller.
What?
Love it.
He's
Jody
not.
High Roller.
Oh, plus 3,500 for first touchdown score for the Jody High Roller.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
fine.
doing for it. I'm not gonna like see Kelsey score the first one and then Fortson scored the next drive, and then
His
I'm gonna
anytime
stick-
TD odds are long enough that it's just not. I mean,
Yeah.
like if
If it was plus 10,000, which back in the day when they first launched these first touchdown, I actually hit a Carson Wentz when they were putting quarterbacks at like plus 10,000. It was $10 to win $1,000, and I won off of Carson Wentz first touchdown score. But they don't do that anymore. They just juice everyone up. And so I don't like those nearly as much.
I gave you bad odds.
But-
It's plus 9,000 for Jody High Roller first touchdown.
Well, I'm sticking with the anytime touchdown. Jody Fortson.
It's real close to
scoring.
plus 10,000, BB.
Just saying.
Jody Fortson is scoring a touchdown this week.
Throw $100 on that. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'll lock
Put
it in.
$100 on what?
Jody High Roller first touchdown scorer. You win $9,000. Pretty good.
Wait, so where is it plus 9,000 at?
DraftKings.
You're sure? You said it was 3,500.
Looking at it right now. Yeah, I was in the same game parlay, and they
If it's plus 9,000, I actually do. It's not my like main
even
bet
Ronald
here.
Jones has better odds, which is
Oh wow, it is at plus 9,000.
despicable.
That's tragic.
Michael Burton's at plus 13,000. He's the fullback, and he hasn't done anything like all year. I don't think he scored a touchdown, but in the Super Bowl, teams get creative, and plus 13,000 is $10
That's
to win
too creative.
$1,300. It's probably too creative.
That's
but
you're going outside the box too far. Stay within the zone.
Jody Fortson's, I think, at least worth it. I think.
Yeah,
he will-
Jody Fortson, I'll give you that. Not Tim Burton.
Michael
Ronald Jones.
Tim Burton.
All right,
Might as well.
perfect.
But yeah, that'll do it. No Gatorade or national anthem ones on this show.
Maybe
I don't know,
maybe we'll post some stuff on Instagram like throughout the week.
If we see something that like pops up, like Chris Stapleton really hangs those notes or carries those notes or whatever, bet the over. But we'll see if we'll post that to our Instagram story if we find other stuff.
Taking the under on that, by the way.
Okay.
They're nervous
right,
on the big stage.
Love it.
All right. Sounds good. That'll do it for this episode. We'll be back for our DraftKings Super Bowl Showdown finale, where $1 million up top, large pool of people, but we're going to try to take it down. So we'll see you next time.
Fly Eagles fly.